Shalom. Call Law Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone that rule and teach well, that taught us this truth, the 100% truth. Salutations to the Akim, the sincere brothers on the four corners of this earth, teaching this truth, risking their lives each and every day on the highways and the byways. And to you, brothers and sisters, tuning in for edification, coming with another lesson. And this lesson is entitled, The Wicked Are Estranged from the Womb, Speaking Lies. And I stumbled across this video. Pretty much it's a video of these two old Esau women, pretty much, giving a little testimony of basically how they seen, when the time they was, teenagers, back in the day, and they basically giving you some information. And I'm going to pull a video right here. They're trying to give you some information on basically, of how, back in the day, of how they used to treat our people, But of course, you already know they're gonna put it in words to make it fit their narrative. You know what I'm saying? They make it like, it wasn't so bad. You know what I'm saying? But they're not gonna give you the full detail of everything, because that's how they are. That's why I say this: they're the wicked. Strange from the womb, speaking lies. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, and this is, I think, they grew up, around the South, they grew up in the South, state of Georgia, pretty much, and I think their mom was, born in the 40s, and they grew up as teenagers in the 50s, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm running a little of this clip, and then I got some scriptures to go along with this video here. And I'll start off right here.
So you two were born in southern Georgia and spent most of you, Gloria, your whole adult life, and Mom until you were what, 50, 40 something, you moved down to New Mexico?
Yeah, I lived in Brunswick and Jacksonville, and folks, all my people was there.
So your growing up days, you didn't move away from the South until you were way into an adulthood. Right. So both of y'all know that one of the big topics in the country right now is what's going on race-wise. There's a whole lot of stuff regarding race that people are talking about today, but I recognize y'all were born in the early and middle 1940s, and when you became teenagers in the 1950s, segregation was going on in the South, and racism
coming to an end then.
Okay, but racism, what is?
So you see, pretty much, if you kind of look at it, that's how the Most High wants it. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to be, separate. Each nation. He don't want us with the Edomites. He wants us to be separate from them. So in actuality, this is basically how it really supposed to be. It's supposed to be where the whites been with the so-called whites, which is the Edomites today, and the so-called blacks, which are the true people of the Bible, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's supposed to be, separate from them, And let me get a scripture for that. That's Deuteronomy 32:8. And when the Most High divided into the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So see, we are a special people above all people, above upon the face of the earth. Deuteronomy 7:6. Now both they said they didn't like how and I'm gonna start the video back again. I don't want to jump ahead.
Racism.
Coming to an end then.
Okay, but racism was at its all-time high when y'all, other than slavery. But I want to get your memories of what you remember at that time, what it was like being a teenager, how that made y'all feel, and what you witnessed during these times.
You want to go first?
Oh, yes.
Don't settle for less. Here's what others are doing to fix missing and broken teeth. The company everyone has been raving about is called
During these times.
You want to go first?
Oh, yes. We was always strictly whites in our school. And when I was coming up, everybody was white. Everybody was white. And then when they started integrating, it still it didn't bother me. I didn't like some of the things that the Ku Klux Klan done. I did not like that at all. Even as a child, I knew that's not right to treat the black people.
So you see? So, like I read that scripture, Deuteronomy 32:8, read it again. When the Most High had divided into the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of the Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Yeah. And you heard what this lady had just mentioned. She said that she didn't like how the KKK, the Klan treated black people, which we not black people. We're not black. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all labeled us. When I look in the mirror, my skin is dark brown. It's not black. So, they pretty much said that they treat us bad, but you know how Esau is. They got that fourth tongue, Basically now they're trying to, make it seem like they wasn't with that, they wasn't down with that. But I bet you back in that time, they was going right along with them too, calling our people names and everything. But that's how they operate. They come with that fourth tongue. Basically dishonest and deceitful, That's how these people, operate, They come with smooth words, But see, they can't fool the elect in the 1/3. Now, they can fool these 2/3 niggas because this is what they do. They pamper them up, And you see it all day, man, But, right now, it's not. They can say whatever they want to say, but the Most High got their number. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to the video again.
It's not right to treat the black people like that.
We had a mother,
Yeah.
a Christian mother,
A Christian
that kept
mother.
us straight, that
Yeah.
God loved them just
Yeah.
like He loved us.
That's
And
right.
that's where my father was racist, very racist.
Yes,
And,
he was.
I didn't know.
You see that? You see that? She threw in that Christian mumbo jumbo crap. You know what I'm saying? So she trying to say the mom was like this goody old two-shoe, was a Christian, and then the dad was racist. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they come. Like I say again, they come with them smooth words. That fourth tongue. And that's the MO of Esau Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white man and children. You know what I'm saying? They number, they come straight from the womb lying. Come right out of the womb lying. You know what I'm saying? And one of the main ones is Yahushua, sweet baby Jesus. Who they call him, ignorantly call him today, but his real name is Yahushua. He saves. Big brother, Yahushua. So, and that's one of the things that they did, throughout the whole entire world. Plaster a so-called blue-eyed devil saying that he is the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Esau gonna get it, you know, for all the evilness that they have done. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to the video, and you're gonna hear some more stuff that they say. It's crazy, man. It's just, you know, but it don't fool the elect in the 1/3. Now it fool these niggas out here. You know, they'll listen to this and they'll be like, oh yeah, everything is all right. Let's all get along. It's 2025 now. Things has changed. No, nothing has changed.
My grandmother was until a talk on the porch we had one day. But the whole, are you through?
Tell me about what you
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
tell me about what you saw your grandmother do.
We were sitting on the front porch and on Jacksonville, Florida. We had big white rocking chairs on this old mansion, used to be at one time, and they fixed it up, and it was a beautiful home. And we were sitting on the front porch, and this elderly black lady come walking by with her hair tied up and taking her groceries home and just walking along. And Grandma said, look at there. She thinks she's just as good as anybody. And I've never heard her say anything like that. And I said, well, Grandma, she is. She's not hurting nobody. I said, she's just taking her groceries home. Well, at the time, the Black Panthers was fighting for civil rights and stuff, and it was all over the TVs. And she says, well, you just wait. One day they're going to be marrying and marry white and black and everything.
So you see, and then we get this other scripture to go right along with that. You know, so they paint the picture of the dad and the grandma was all mean, but the mom was a Christian woman, you know, supposedly, you know, but that's how they operate. And then they trying to make it seem like they was these old young teenagers during that time, and they was all cool, you know, so-called black people, you know what I'm saying, which I don't know what they was calling us back then, you know, maybe it was Afro-American, you know what I'm saying, now it's African-American. But, you know, this is how these people operate, you know what I'm saying? And let's go to Isaiah chapter 58, verse 3. So we're gonna call it out now. We're gonna call y'all out. We're gonna let the world know that you're not gonna get away for all the rape, rob, and murder that y'all done to our people, and you think you're gonna ride off in the sunset. No, it don't work like that, because Yahweh Shem Al Shai is pulling y'all cards now and putting y'all on Front Street for all your wickedness that you have done to our people. You know what I'm saying? So you can smile, you know, all you want to, that little fake little smile that you give us every day. But we know who y'all are now. And we'll go Isaiah chapter 58, verse 3. Wherefore have we Slocky, that was the wrong one. Psalms 58 and 3. Slocky. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And like I said again, you know, you see how the first lady said what she said, but then the other lady said, are you through? She didn't even say nothing, the first lady. She just basically said a little, because she know, well, I'm not going to really tell them the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to give them a little bits and piece, a small little nibble. You know what I'm saying? But we already know the big picture. We already know. You know what I'm saying? That y'all, the stuff that y'all did to our people back in them days, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. You know what I'm saying? All the way up, if you fast forward all the way up to this day, nothing has changed. You know? So we know y'all come straight from the womb lying, you know, and this is how you devils operate. You know what I'm saying? You know, they did all this wickedness to the Most High people. You know what I'm saying? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you think you're gonna rape, rob, and murder our people, and like I said again, and just get away with it? No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work like that. You know. Y'all gonna go down. Y'all gonna get exactly what y'all deserve. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep going.
Wait. One day they're going to be marrying and marry white and black and everything, then you'll see. Oh, she was right. That's exactly what happened. But I'd never heard Grandma talk that way, talk down, because she wasn't doing anything, just it wasn't home. But if it wasn't for a black woman, my daddy couldn't have made it. Grandma could not feed daddy, but there was a black woman that worked for them that was feeding her baby, so she fed daddy, because Grandma's milk had dried up. He was fed and kept alive by a black woman. And this is something they didn't like to talk about too much, but I know because I heard it. And they thought they used her like a cow, is what they did. Instead of, I don't know if they ever thanked her for what she did for Daddy, but Grandma had 7 children, and Daddy was the baby. And
So, like this lady was saying, you know what I'm saying? They use you basically use us like a cow. They do that today still. Nothing has changed, man. In the music industry, the sports industry, you know what I'm saying? What else? Anything, man. Jake do, man. You know what I'm saying? They use our people, man. You know what I'm saying? But of all the stuff that y'all done to our people, man, you can sugarcoat it. You can try to word it the way you word it. But whatever you did, you're going to reap what you sowed. And let me get that Galatians 6 and 7. You're going to reap what you sow. You know, you put out wickedness, then you're going to receive that. You're going to receive, a slacking. You're going to receive the judgment of everything that you put out. You know what I'm saying? Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. Yeah. And that's what y'all trying to do. Y'all think y'all can mock Yahweh Shem Shai. By getting on this video and then painting the picture the way you think you perceived and you seen it back then. You know good and well that it was way more harsher than that. The way they wording it and what they saying. It was way more wickedness and the way y'all treated our people like crap, But y'all not going to get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think y'all going to get away with it. Let me finish. For whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap. Yeah. You saw everything that you have done. You sowed all the wickedness back in these days that, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Breaking our men, you know what I'm saying? Raping our women, feeding our babies to alligators. Breaking our families up, you know what I'm saying? Selling our children and little boys and little girls for harlots, you know what I'm saying? And wine. You're going to get everything that you've done, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shem Shai has kept track of everything. The angels going back to him, letting them know, reporting to the Most High, letting them know, you know what I'm saying? So you can keep on, making y'all little videos to try to make it seem like, let's make a video now because we about to, we almost close to our deathbed. We're going to try to make up with, with our God, so he'll know that we was innocent. No. It don't work like that. Whatever y'all done, y'all going down too. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to the video and listen to this.
And she was in her 40s. He was a change of life baby, they called him. And she got childbirth fever or something. She got sick. Anyway, she had no milk for Daddy. But that black wet nurse fed my father. And you would think that there would be some kind of thankfulness there. I never heard that. I didn't hear that out of them. Matter of fact, they didn't care to talk about it. But
before we continue the video, I just want to original creator of this video.
Hey, looking for the best credit card for you? Credit Karma makes it simple to check your options. Cash back, rewards.
Belongs to original creator of this.
Everything. He was a very nice man. The blacks had to.
Tell me what it was like going out to dinner, going to the movies,
You take the
Okay,
theater.
where we lived in Buxton, Georgia, they had a theater. His, I remember his name and everything. He was a very nice man. The blacks had to sit up in the top, and the whites sit in the bottom. And it never bothered me or anything.
Didn't think about
The
it.
only thing is one.
It was just so common. Y'all really just didn't think anything.
No, because they didn't come down, and they got what they wanted and go up, and and they had their own bathrooms and stuff, and it was just when the Ku Klux Klan came in one night. It was one Saturday night
At the movie theater?
No,
Oh,
they didn't go in.
See, she said she's talking about something I don't know nothing about.
Okay, they was all dressed in the hoods and stuff, and because
You see that? You see that? See that lady says nothing that I know about. You know what I'm saying? And this is how they are. They come with them that smooth word. Let me get that Isaiah 50, Psalms 55 and 21. Because the whole time that first lady was talking on the right, she basically saying, "Oh, they was nice. The man owned the movie theater. He was nice." You know what I'm saying? They come watch the movie. But if it was so nice, why our people got treated like that so bad? Because they painting the narrative, a picture that make it seem like it fits their description of how it went down. It didn't go down like that, man. Our people probably was, terrified all the time, Let me get to Psalms 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, and his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Yeah. And this is how the so-called white man, woman, and children talk. You know what I'm saying? When they talk, they always beat around the bush. You know what I'm saying? They never answer the question. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation here, they just telling the story to fit their narrative, to fit them so they can be like, see, this is how it went down. It wasn't so bad, you know what I'm saying? But they're not really going into detail and telling you what really happened, you know what I'm saying? Because if you was to go to any of our people, you know what I'm saying, and ask them, anybody that ask them, tell a story, you know what I'm saying? I bet you would get a different story. And I know somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because my mom, she was raised in the South, you know what I'm saying? And whenever I went to her, she never want to talk about that. And she grew up around their time. So, and if you notice, these women right here, they ain't got no problem talking about it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't showing no emotions. You know what I'm saying? They ain't showing like they hurt or they feel, sympathy for, what our people went through back in them times, back in them days. They ain't feeling nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I went to my mom many times, asked her, to talk about, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. So these women, they know what's up. You know what I'm saying? They know. But they going down. You know what I'm saying? This place going down. This kingdom going down. Esau, you done. You through.
all dressed in the hoods and stuff. And
I never
because
saw
they
that.
said something about they didn't want him to ever Kenny said, let the blacks start sitting down in
The movie theater owner was going to do that, and
well, they had heard something about that. Anyway, and all the Ku Klux Klan. Anyway, Irma, I think, then went to Charlotte to move to the roller rink that night. And so I wanted to go see, but I hadn't seen the movie. They had a movie changed every 2 weeks or something like that. So, and Mama said, well, I'd rather that she not go up there tonight if there's going to be any trouble. And Daddy said, oh, there won't be no trouble. He said, I'll be up there with her. And we got there was Ku Klux Klans everywhere. And He said, I'll make sure she ain't gonna get hurt or nothing. Anyway, people come in and they started hollering at him or something. Anyway, the police come up there and made him leave. And we went in and watched the movie and everything. Come back out, couldn't see nothing nowhere. But after that, they did integrate. And as far as I know, I've never heard of any problems after that.
So you see? So let me get this scripture, Proverbs 12 and 17, because it's how these devil operate. They lie. They come, like I said, straight from the womb, lying. He that speak truth show forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit, And that's what the Akim is doing on the four corners of this earth, speaking this truth, you know what I'm saying? The words that the Most High has put in the prophet's mouth, you know what I'm saying? Letting the prophets, speak this truth and letting this world know what is being spoken through their mouth, which is righteousness. And in this video you hear, they speaking deceit, they speaking lies, they speaking a fourth tongue to make they self feel good. You know what I'm saying? Because that guilt is on them. That man, woman, and children guilt is all on them. When you go out in today's society, man, you can see it. You can feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like they know something is coming, But so because these Edomites, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They speak lies. What they're doing is they're trying to cover their back. They don't want to look bad, Yep. They want to just think that, hey, things gonna be all right. But you know what? Most High got y'all in your trick. He got y'all in the trick bag. You know what I'm saying? You Edomites, man. Nothing y'all do. Everything y'all done, y'all gonna reap. You know what I'm saying? And destruction is coming. To y'all. It's coming to y'all ass. You know what I'm saying? Every idol, every word y'all say, like these two ladies here, they gonna be held accountable. And let me get that Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. Everything that they've been speaking, they're gonna be held accountable. And everything they done back in the past too, because they know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they should give account thereof in the day of judgment. Yeah. So every word they are speaking, you know what I'm saying, pretty much, in this video, they're going to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? They put it in the words that they want to make people to portray and what they thought it was like. But we know what it was like. You know what I'm saying? And Esau, you think you can get away, but you ain't getting away with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Your days is coming to an end, And when y'all go up to these camps and y'all asking us, what are y'all teaching? You know what I'm saying? And then the truth come out, then y'all run. But y'all ain't gonna have too much longer where y'all can run. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna have too much longer, cause them days is coming to an end, man. And I think it was a couple more things on this video that you can hear them say, and then go to a couple more scriptures, then I'll be done.
But I think he kind of woke the people work. See, in a small town, and you knew some of these men with these hoods on, and it kind of just faded right on out, But there was, I don't know of any of them ever getting hurt or beat or anything.
What were their, do you remember ever seeing what their bathrooms were like, their drinking fountains?
Oh, yeah. Now,
I never went upstairs.
No, but this is in Cresces. I was in Cresces with Mama, and I know you were probably somewhere just looking around. But this little black boy went up to the fountain, and he was real small. And they had the black, and they had one over to the side, the white only. And he could not reach. He knew to go to the black one, And this woman that worked there, he went and pulled on her and says, "Ma'am, could you help me get some water?" And she said, she looked down at him like he was the scum of the earth and said, go get your black mammy to help you.
And this is just a little boy.
The little boy.
Just a thirsty
and the
little
look
boy.
on his face was devastating. I remember that. And the bathrooms, the black bathroom and the white bathroom, you couldn't hardly stand to go past it. Nobody cleaned the black bathroom, but the white bathroom always smelled better. You know, I mean, it was like clean.
So yeah, so you know, everything that they've done, you know, to our people, you know, they just think that they can be able to tell a story, make it seem like everything wasn't so bad, you know. But you know what, Esau? Your day is coming, you know what I'm saying? Your day is coming. You're not going to get away from everything that you've done. Let me go to Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15, you know. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who see us and who know us? Yeah. Well, we know who see you, Yahweh Shem Shai. You know what I'm saying? Well, and the things that you think you done in the dark, you think they're not going to be brought to the light. But they being brought to the light now. You know what I'm saying? You know, everything that you done. And you doing to this day, you know what I'm saying? Killing our people, you know, doing all kind of stuff. And you think that everything is okay. And right now, this truth is being, you know, told, you know what I'm saying? This is the light. This is being told, you know what I'm saying? You know, y'all speaking darkness, but it's all going to come to light. And it's coming to the light right now, you know what I'm saying? You know. You can try to act nice all you want to, you know, on your jobs, at the park, at the grocery store, wherever you eat. You know, we see, you know, so-called white person, that's what they're doing. They give you that little funny smirk, that little funny smile. But hey, you know, your time is coming, you know what I'm saying? Now when you fast forward to now, you know, they think everything has changed. No, it's still the same, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's still the same. Like in this video, they thinking, you know, nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? You know, nothing has changed. And I'm one of the ladies, I think, is gonna say that.
It was like clean, and there's so many things. I saw how they were treated. Like she was talking about the theater. The woman that done our popcorn and drinks, she take care of all the white kids first. They were standing in a line outside the window, out on the sidewalk. They didn't come in where we were. They stood on the line outside the window. And when everybody was going out, she'd raise that window and they'd hand her their money and tell them what, and she'd act like it was dirty. Just like that. I remember how she looked. I was a teenager when all this was going on. And they'd get there, it didn't matter if it rained, cold, or anything, they stood out there to get their stuff. And then they'd go back upstairs with them. But, racism was running rampant.
Do you feel like how they're saying it is today compares to how it was then?
It's better today. We don't have all that kind of stuff. Everything's open.
I differ. I mean, they have fought for their rights.
Yeah.
They have been the anger.
Wow. So I'm gonna stop it there, man. I didn't want to hear no more of these devils, man. That's all they do is lie. You know, coming straight from the womb lying. You know what I'm saying? And this is basically what you get. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has changed. She tried to say things has changed. Nothing has changed. They only basically give us certain jobs, so we can only make so much money where we can't be able to afford a house in a certain area. So we can't be around them. Ain't nothing changed. They just do it different. You know, redlining, you know what I'm saying? You know, oppressing our people in the justice system, you know what I'm saying? You know, the percentage of our people in there, so-called Negroes and Latinos, you know, the percentage is high. I don't know, it might be 70, 80%, you know what I'm saying? You know, and what they doing in there, they doing working for free labor wages pretty much, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? For 200 years, they got free labor with us. You know, our people, our ancestors back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So I know, you know what I'm saying? I remember my mom telling me that my granddad made $500 a year, you know, and he worked for Esau. You know what I'm saying? He paid him $500, you know? So, and then they being delusional. They trying to speak, you know, they telling you basically lies, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, they don't give our people no business loans, you know what I'm saying? They don't do none of that, you know. You know? And you see these devils, you know, this is what they do. This is how they operate, you know. But judgment is coming to a theater near you. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking in this video talking about the theater that our people was outside and the woman was like raised up the window to get the money from it like it was dirty. Or a theater coming near you, something coming to you. A theater near you. You know what I'm saying? Them ICBM missiles. You know, that's what's coming to you. And any of you coon niggas trying to feel sorry for, you know, Esau, Edom, and these other nations, you know what I'm saying? Like Zechariah 13:8, you're gonna be put to death too. You know what I'm saying? You know. So like I said again, let me go to Galatians 6 and 7, and I'll close out. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, be not deceived, Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap. Yeah. And like I say again, these devils in this video, they was basically telling a story to make it seem like, you know, this is how it was. But it wasn't. Because they got that guilty conscience on them. You know what I'm saying? They know from all the bad stuff that they did, they didn't say nothing about they did anything bad. No. They was right along with you know, they grandparents or they parents and then them. They was right along in the mix too. So whatever you did as far as sowing, you're gonna reap. And the Most High, you can't mock the Most High. He know. He got it. He got it all written down. Esau. He got your number. He got you in your trick bag. You think you're gonna get away with everything, but you not. So that's why I say the wicked are estranged from the womb. Soon they be born speaking lies. So I want to end with that. I want to say Shalom. Call all y'all by Shemi Al Shai by Shemi Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone that rule and teach well. To the sincere Akim teaching his truth, risking their lives each and every day on the highways and the byways. And to the brothers and sisters tuning for edification, this is your brother Dawadah. Shalom.